Thank you for coming on this rainy day. This is our first time we're having a meeting on a weekly basis because we've heard some comments. Remember, we can't make it during the Saturday, so we're trying back and forth this year. So we're still trying to get this thing organized. So tonight, let's do the business, and then we'll have. Is there anybody here that's new? There's Vanessa. Yes. Can you state your name?
My name is Terry Brewster. I'm Capt Court. Coming up on 21 years. Haven't even responded.
Good. Everybody else, I think everybody knows everybody else here. Dave Wilkins, thanks for coming. Yeah. Commissioner, and Steve Spivak. I'd like to start off, first of all, by making a motion that we approve the minutes from the last meeting on February 4th. So, with a show of hands, can I see how many people would approve the minutes that I sent out? Anybody not like that? Okay. Make a motion. Barbara? The
minutes are approved.
Minutes are approved. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So Barbara has a comment she'd like to make about our search for a secretary.
Okay. Two quick things to talk about. We have an open position on our board for a secretary, and the secretary keeps the minutes, keeps record of keeps the attendance sheets from meetings, minimal official correspondence, and maintains legal records like the bylaws and stuff. It's a good opportunity for someone who has a good attention to detail and who can maintain organized records. It's not something that requires you to be out front or making speeches or anything. So for someone who maybe is not an extrovert, it's a good opportunity to do something constructive to contribute to the community without getting too far outside their comfort zone. So if you know of anybody who might be interested in taking on that kind of a role, we're open to suggestions for people to approach for the position of secretary.
We collaborate on the minutes, back and forth a couple of times, and then they get set. But the secretary is in charge of it.
So the secretary normal process is the secretary takes the minutes and then distributes them for comments, and then ultimately they're approved at the next meeting. But minutes are taken for both board meetings and for the general member meetings. And if anybody has any ideas on anybody that might be a good fit for that, they can contact Greg or any member of the board, and they can contact through the contact page on our website. I also wanted to say that we got our Capt grant from the city. Finally, that got funded. The city held on to the funds for a little while, and then there was some address hoo-ha, but we finally got the check and put it in the bank. We got $1,600 in funding from the city, which is the city is very much in support of neighborhood associations, and that's part of what they do. So most of that goes toward National Night Out. $900 of the $1,600 goes toward the National Night Out. That's our biggest event of the year and the biggest expense. Then some of it funds some miscellaneous, just organizational expenses. And then the other thing that it's going to provide at least some funding for is the block parties that we're planning on having this year, and Greg is going to talk about those a little bit. So that's the treasurer's update for members. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Barbara has been an outstanding treasurer for our organization. I really appreciate her work. She's got a lot of talent there. Regarding block parties, we talked about it last meeting, and Karen's not able to be here, so I'm going to read what she wrote, what she was going to say tonight. She said, "We are planning to have 3 block parties throughout the neighborhood. These are going to be low-key, potluck-style block parties, hosted basically on someone's driveway, so we don't have to go through the process of blocking off the street and getting and so forth. So it's really just a neighborhood gathering that will provide opportunities to get to know neighbors on adjacent streets. We're targeting the first block party for mid-May or early June. Our neighborhood is ideally suited for these types because of all the prevalence of courts that we have. around here. A house at the end of a court would be an ideal location to host a gathering. So please reach out to us or your friends and get back to us. And we'll try to plan a block party in your section of the neighborhood. And Karen says, I don't anticipate these being huge events. We would be looking for people to help canvass surrounding streets around the hosting home to pass out flyers so that the surrounding neighbors know what's going to be happening that day. And if you can send an email to vp@lospaseosneighbors.com, which is Karen, if you're interested in offering your driveway or helping hand out flyers. So please pass that word around when you're talking about block parties and so forth. Next thing that she was going to talk about is newsletters. You have seen the latest post on Nextdoor about our first newsletter, and we're looking for feedback on you from what you'd like to see in future newsletters. So that's about all we have to say. What did the people in this room that saw the newsletter, what did you think about it? Good? Thumbs up? Yeah, Karen did a good job on it. So we plan to keep that going and make it very pertinent to what's going on in the neighborhood. Pass it out, and we might start spreading it out a little bit further as we've had some discussions on the social media. So now, Alan would like to talk a little bit about the internet and our website, our Facebook page, and a few other things.
Yeah, so one of the issues that's come up is how do we get better outreach into the neighborhood. Some groups use Nextdoor, some groups use Yahoo groups. We've got our own website, lospaseosneighbors.com, that I administer. Greg sends out emails to everyone. So kind of, what is your preference of outreach? Through Facebook, Nextdoor, Twitter, what preferences do any of you have, if any at all? And how can we do better outreach to the community? Yes.
How about signs? You know how, and not to bring up this, but homeowners association, they put a sign out, like coming in the back way by the fire department. So they put a sign out on the night that they're having a meeting. There's a little sign, sits right out there. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but maybe just to, you turn before you go that way. You don't go that way, but
Joan, I think that's a really good idea.
I mean, just as a reminder, and did you ever check with the schools? Did you see if they would let us put on the marquee? I mean, Los Paseos has the rolling marquee.
Yep.
Does Murphy?
No.
No, there's
no,
this.
That was actually one of the projects, the PV projects, to get them out of the school.
To get Murphy to get the rolling one.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know Murphy's maybe not because they literally have to get up there and do all that, and usually they have a lot, but like with Los Paseos, that's all computerized. And it could possibly, run for people, anybody going that direction. Can you put one out in front of the fire department?
Sandwich board or something?
Yeah. A sign.
Yeah.
That just on either the day, usually they do the day before.
We can put a sign like we did for the participatory budget where we can change the dates on it. There's a little section there. You can fill out the old dates, put on a new date.
And we need to put locations because they change
sometimes, yeah. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, but I think Los Paseos, we have a connection. Talk to Mary Patterson.
Steve, you look like you have an idea that you want to spit out.
Spit out, Steve.
Are you the only Steve here?
I'm flattered. There's a website called Meetup, and Meetup provides information on all sorts of groups from all sorts of interests as sort of a universal, here's what's happening in the neighborhood's website called Meetup. The other possibility is the Mercury News has a directory of business journals that allow you to send in notices of meeting dates and times. And I think they'll publish them, and I don't believe there's any charge. So there might be something there.
Okay. Look into that. Thanks.
Anything else? How many people, you, Patty, and Mike, and you guys go to our website? Have you ever been there?
I have, but I don't do it regularly.
Once? Not regularly? Yeah. You've seen it, though. Do you have any comments on it? I remember the picture of the mountain range on the first page. Take a look at it sometime. All right. Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Alan.
Now, Captain Fong.
If you want to ask the question, go first, or
You?
Mike, would you like to go first?
They've got me for 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh, now go first.
Okay.
Depends how much time you got.
Save
lives, man. You gotta fight crime. You have the job there.
That's why he gets elected, right? I'm disappointed.
We have a little flexibility tonight. I think with the crowd we have, we're okay.
Johnson Fong, if you haven't met me, I am your captain for the Southern Division. So this time, Greg said you got 15 minutes, no more. Because I went way overboard. Hey man, so he shut me down last time. So I'll keep it with 15. Alan, you let me know, give me like a 5-minute mark, alright? Okay. So here it goes. Let's talk a little bit about how I get the information, how I process it, and give it to you. So do me a big favor. I cannot monitor literally like, Meetup, next door. I just literally don't have the time. Mr. Peck goes, hey, can you give me a Django? Oh, great. Please write down this stuff for me, because if you don't write it down, it's gone. We'll talk about it. And because I got 10, 15, up to 20 plus different neighborhood associations I attend to. But when you write it down for me, okay, got it. I got this information for you. So what I'm saying to you guys is, if you have a concern on your street, a particular house, a law, issues, homelessness, recruitment, whatever, there's your man right there. Hey, Greg, did you make sure Johnson Fong talked about this next time? You guys can talk about it on Meetup or next door, or I'm old school, email. I'm beyond some phone number. I'm past that now. Email's the way to go. And what's so nice about emails, I will never lose your contact. I will never lose it because it's in my computer. I can always say, okay, I got you. So please, obviously city council, Vanessa's here. Sometimes you probably talk to her, interact with her much more than you do with me and with the police, because you don't need to. And, when she hears chatter or static or any kind of like, hey, that's just something for you guys to look into, police officer. What she does, she feeds me the information. And what I do is I talk to my troops and say, hey, you know what? Here's what's going on down here. Please take a look for me. And sometimes I look, if I have the time, I'll drive on the streets and I kind of like verify, hey, is this a drug house or not, or is this just somebody upset with some issues? So kind of makes sense to the communication process. If you could write down for me, I promise you, I will not forget it. We do a voice to voice. I apologize, man. Just older I get, the more I forget things. With that said, let's talk about your statistics. I am getting smarter in the area of computers. So they gave us this new program. It's called Crime View Dashboard for the Captains, and it's pretty technical. Now I could draw lines geographically, your neighborhood, and I get very, very technical. Well, what crimes you guys looking for? So, for example, let's just say you have like a lot of drunks or something like that on, say Monterey and Boston. For some reason, you see more and more drunks walking in your neighborhood. Well, tell me that. In fact, I could find out whether or not were people intoxicated, were they arrested for such and such crime, dates, and it really breaks down very, very nicely. So what I try to do is I use this computer program to kind of figure out, hey, what works for you? Obviously you guys are concerned about property crimes, right? Burglaries, auto thefts, vehicle tampering. Obviously, I'm concerned about that. I live in the city. I want to know, are we getting ripped off? Assaults, are people getting beat up, stabbed, shootings? I presume you guys want to know that stuff, right? Stalking, and, middle of the road. Domestic violence, I tend to kind of sway from that. Like, I feel like, okay. It's public knowledge if you wish to know. But to me, domestic violence is something I don't really look at. Unless you guys feel like, hey, I want to know, is there domestic violence in your neighborhood association? Kind of makes sense there? I'm trying to tailor the statistics that's best to your particular group. So there are certain groups that I go to. I'm looking specifically for like gang crimes, gang graffitis. You guys just don't have that in your neighborhood. I mean, literally, I could research 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You're not going to have like, a major gang crime issue in your neighborhood. What you guys consistently have through the years is burglaries and auto thefts. And I just reckon y'all drive nice cars and have nice houses. That's my, answer to you folks. Then with that said, I did a 30-day analysis. I could go back more, but why? Because I come to here every month now. I could tell you, hey, last month this happened. This month this happened. So I'm the consistent guy now. I can tell you last month is here, this month's here, so let's talk about that. And remember, this is reported. That means a crime is taking place. If you don't call the police, forget about it. I'm not going to know. This is somebody actually picking up 911 or 311 and say, hey, I would like to file a police report. Makes sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so with that said, surprisingly, for the last 30 days, starting today, in your specific neighborhood, your own little boundaries, the one that you've given me, you guys have no burglars. That just, I have to double check. I'm like, surely that is wrong. I'm a little bit kind of skeptical that way. But I did it 3 times, and 3 times, last 3 days, like, no. I'm like, I don't know what you guys have been doing, but something's pretty good. You guys did have 3 cars stolen in your neighborhood. And just so you know, 2 months ago when I first came on board, I wasn't as smart with this computer. So I did a 1-mile radius. And there was way more crime because outside your neighborhoods, literally across the surface, it gets much more rough and tough. But in your own little pocket, the boundaries that you gave me, Greg, it's a very, very good neighborhood. There was 1 vehicle that was tampered with. Not stolen. To me, it's kind of like the same. They're messing the car. It's just they were not successful in stealing the car. So there is a rise, in my opinion, of auto thefts. You have 2 vandalisms. Kids. I presume they're kids. I hope they're kids that are breaking things, messing things around. And there was 1 child abuse case. All right? So that's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 documented incidents for the last 30 days in your neighborhood. There are certain areas that I get 7 incidents in 1 day. Yeah. So you guys are doing very, very well with your neighborhood. Congratulations to you guys. All right. Alan, you keeping track here?
Yep.
All right. How much time I got, buddy?
6:45.
6 minutes left, or talk fast. All right. The recruitment status. Greg's hit me up real hard on this. Hey, what's going on? What's up with this recruitment thing? Number 1, thank you. Thank you for your support. Because of your continued support, we're doing really, really good in the recruitment department. We picked up last October, and it's like cycles. It's like every 4 to 6 months we pick up X amount of people for the recruitment class. We picked up 31 in October. They're going through the academy. They're almost done this month. And we just picked up another 29 police recruits. To us, that's a big deal. That is, you're looking at 60 persons, 2 classes. Before all the political movements and all that, we're getting 7, 8, 9 recruits per class. So it jumped tremendously. So thank you for that. So I think we're very successful.
What's your retention rate?
So when you say retention rate, it gets really dynamic. It gets like, what do you mean? For example, in 2014, 2015, average of 5 police officers, San Jose police officers, they leave our city. They're like, thank you, but no thanks. And they move on. As of right now, this year, we're looking at 2 a month versus 5. Again, you're like, hey, what's the big deal? Think about this for a second. If 5 police officers leave a month, I'm looking at 60 cops. 60 cops a year. Minimum leaving. 2, I'm looking at, help me here, is that 24? Mathematically? I'm not that good at math. But 60 versus 24. To me, that's an excellent return rate.
I know. Out your last class, we had a couple leave.
Oh yeah, they.
I know you guys worked it, but
you know, it's interesting. Like years ago when I first came out, I didn't do it for the money. I always thought, I can make more money in Santa Clara, Sunnyvale, this that. I don't want to be in San Jose. I live here. My friends live here. This is where you want to. You want to be a cop. This is the place you want to be a police officer. This is where the fun is. Not in your division because it's boring out there. You guys do vandalism and auto thefts, but Overside town gets a little bit rough. But things change. Things change, and I get it. You got to take care of your family, right? Time check, Alan. How we doing?
4:12.
Okay. One question. What's the best way to improve neighborhood watch? Now, I'm going to sound a little preachy here, but please, bear with me here. Again, the question is, what is the best way for neighborhood watch to deter crime? And here, I actually thought about this for a second. I'll look at the camera here. Know thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor. Keep calling the cops. Keep calling the cops. 311, 911. Use the crime prevention unit and use me. It's always good to know the captain because I'm ultimately the boss man of all of Southern Division. It's always good to know the boss because I'll be like, hey, Lieutenant, how come you didn't help out that neighborhood like I asked you? Hey, Sergeant, what did you do this week to prevent burglaries? I'm kind of like the end user, the person I'm the principal of Southern Division. Hey, what happened? Why did we not do this? Or, thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it. Vanessa, I send her a lot of information. I send these people out, and she gets pictures and stuff, like, hey, our arrests, and I wish I could give that information to you guys on a daily basis or a weekly basis, but because of legal, boundaries, I cannot do that. Whereas City Council, there's a little more, give and take, and they actually get a bigger perspective. So when I say to you, hey, we're doing well, we're actually doing very well. And for your neighborhood, it's one of those neighborhoods that, hey, let's just be aware of it, but this is definitely not a crime-ridden area. Your neighborhood is doing very, very well. And when I say know thy neighbor, I'm talking about like, hey, you should know your buddy that live across from you, to the left of you, to the right from you. And maybe behind you a little bit. Because I walk my dogs, I try to say hi to everybody. I live in San Jose. And I say hi to all my, know thy neighbors. So when your neighbor comes up with that, camper, hey, don't call that is their RV. It's the family's RV. They're going on vacation. Or your neighbor is going on vacation. And they're saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to be gone for a week or two. Would you please watch my house, pick up the paper? Do so. You take care of each other. And when I say love thy neighbor, what I'm saying is, hey, if you care about your neighbor, obviously, hey, I think someone's breaking into that person's home. Or wait a minute, I haven't seen her before. What is she doing in her backyard? Maybe that's a 311. Frankly, that's a 911 home. Kind of makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
What's the average response time? Depending on events?
It depends. It depends what it is. Yeah. It depends what it is. If it's like for a burglary, for an auto theft, it could take hours.
Right.
Literally, you're doing it for hours.
You're watching it while it's happening.
Yeah, you can watch the grass grow sometimes if it's just for writing a report. But if you call 911 and say, hey, you know what? I know my neighbor. I love my neighbor. And my neighbor told me they're on vacation. I don't recognize that woman. And that woman is inside my neighbor's house. We're coming with meds. Kind of make sense? That's how we prioritize. Okay? And I keep saying calling the cops. I cannot help you if I don't hear the 311, 911s. If city council's not bugging me about a thing, I'm like, well, Vanessa and I must be doing good, right? No problem in our district. If Greg is saying, yeah, there's no problem in LPNA, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go help 7 Trees. I'm going to go help, Roundtable area, Snow Drive. I'm going yonder where they're needing police service. So if you have an issue, homelessness issue, again, I'm not seeing that in your neighborhood. I'm not feeling it. At most, I see a lot of, I cruise around a little bit. They drive fast a little bit in the neighborhood. It seemed like that's kind of like a bigger issue, but people are stealing things in the neighborhood. I do recognize that. And lastly, use of crime prevention. I know some of you guys know Sonia. Some of you guys know, Rebecca, exceptional people. They'll organize you guys just like what you guys do. And I know some of you guys are already organized. And again, utilize me. I told you, please reach out to me. Some of you guys have my business card, but it's best because, Greg and I are already on a first name basis. If he gets on me, he's like, hey, prepare for this, prepare for that. And I really appreciate that. Thank you, Greg.
Well, I would be willing to take any input you would have and you'd want to go to him. Excuse me. I would take anything you sent to me, copy and paste it to an email to him. And I don't know if I should copy other people or just you and I should out.
Just cut and paste and put it right now. No need to rewrite it.
Yeah, I won't rewrite it. I'll just rewrite it and just send it to him and then get a response back and get it back to you.
And I'll do my best to answer for next time because these questions are from him. And I'll do my best to answer it. And other question was brought up, how can we help SJPD? And I say the same words. Know thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor. Call the cops often. Utilize crime prevention. Utilize me. My services is the exact same answer. If you know your neighbor on a first name basis, obviously you hear about him or her. If you know your neighbor, you're going to realize, hey, wait a minute, I don't recognize that car. And I'm saying something that's real common sense, but maybe I don't want to overlook obvious.
What's the status of our traffic?
2 minutes?
You give me 2 minutes.
Okay, stop interrupting me.
I want to understand. I'm racing down by our school.
So the last question is, what is the SJPD response to homelessness? I want to talk about this for a second because it actually goes into Mike here in a little bit. I'll let Mike talk about it a little bit more. Homelessness is not a crime. Homelessness is not a crime. I think Mike's going to talk a little bit about, hey, not my backyard kind of philosophy a little bit. I get it. I understand that. But we are addressing it the best we can. The city has a hotline, and I'll say it slowly so you capture that on video. It's the San Jose Homeless Concern Hotline at 408-975-1140. And the person in charge of that program is Mr. Ray Bramson. B-R-A-H-M-S-O, Bramson. He's kind of like the person that's in charge of addressing homelessness issues in the city of San Jose. And I believe, Mr. Weissman is going to talk about a gentleman by the name of Key Lee. Am I close? Not Kyle, but Key Lee. It looks like Kyle, but it's two separate words. That's the county's perspective. And they're the people that's in charge of helping out the veterans, helping out, mothers with children, helping out those who have mental health issues. We offer many, many different types of services to these folks. Now let's talk about San Jose PD's response. Yes, we may refer generally about homelessness calls and services to whether it's Keeley or Mr. Ray Bramson at the hotline. But when homelessness folks break the law, meaning whether they're walking in the middle of the street, because we got to obey the law, they have to obey the law. Guess what? That's where we come in. If they're ignoring traffic matters, if they're stealing, if they're fighting, guess what? They're just like a citizen, just like a resident anywhere else. Nobody's above the law. So I encourage you, again, call the police. Keep calling the police. I don't quite see that much issue in your neighborhood association. Again, I drive around a little bit. I'm not feeling it. Am I wrong? All right, I just want to close with this. I come here monthly, but Mr. Peck, he keeps me in check. We talk quite a bit offline. Again, I appreciate that. I encourage you, use me. I am your servant here. Granted, I have a fancy title named Captain. Quite frankly, I am your operator for the San Jose PD. If you need services, if you want us to step up, and I ask you though, to honestly and objectively assess your neighborhood association. Like I told you, you guys got 7 reported crimes in a month. There are places that gets it, 7 calls in 5 hours, maybe even less. So you guys are doing really, really well. All right, I'd love to talk to you Q&A, but I do have guest speakers with Vanessa and with Mike. And please, you can always talk to Greg here. Hey, can you ask Johnson to address these issues next time? And I know I'm over my 15-minute mark. Thank you, Alan, for not kicking me off. Thank you very much. I look forward to talking to you guys next month. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.